Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezua Elimi. Hey, today, let us discuss our feelings. You know, we have such a very magnificent machine in this thing called our body. And then, of course, our mind. There is a connection between body and mind. And the body is a subconscious printout of the mind. The state of the body reveals the state of the mind. Every single activity, every single action, every single process or program that is running in the mind has its own signal in the body. If you have any feeling in your body and you neglect it, you do so at your own peril. And the body is intricately linked with the mind. Of course, we can say that the body is part of the subconscious mind. The level of relationship between mind and body is very, very close. It's tight. There is no body without mind, but there can be mind without body. Body is the end product, in a way, of the mind. How do we know what mind is doing? Thoughts is reflected by some electrical charges, electrical activity in the system. Thoughts is registered in the physical human body by feelings. I am Osezua Anthony Elimi. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the dream. The relationship between feeling and thought is like the relationship between water and wetness. When there is water in a place and there is a contact made with that water, the one that makes contact with the water becomes wet. So the wetness is evidence of contact with water. In the same way, feeling is evidence that the system of the human being has a contact with thought. And when the feeling is embraced by the human being, then what happens is that there is an emotion. The emotion itself becomes another evidence of the presence of a feeling, which represents a thought. The relationship is very tight. And the thing is this: if a thought is present in the system and nobody embraced the feeling, the thought will die over time. It will fade out over time. When a feeling is in the system and nobody embraces the feeling, there will be no emotion. And when a human being embraces the feeling and it generates an emotion, you can also stop the emotion on its track. When you stop the emotion, there will be no reality. But if you allow the emotion to flow on, a reality will be created over time. And when you have a feeling and you do not deal with that feeling, you are creating an opportunity for something that is unsavory to happen in your life. Because there is always a signal. The mind cannot do any operation without first taking permission from you. You are the controller of the mental system. When mind sends you signals through feeling, and you keep ignoring it over and over again, mind concludes that that is what you want, and it will respond accordingly. Now, when you have a bad feeling about something, and you just say, oh, I have a bad feeling about this thing, I don't know why, I don't just like this feeling, and that's all you do, wow. You have just given a passive permission for mind to carry out such an operation. So if you have a feeling in your system that you do not like, and you do not take action to correct that feeling, then you are giving mind the permission to carry out an operation that it has seen as something that you want. Every feeling is the presence of a thought. It is a signal to you that there is something present. What do you think about it? There are two ways to do that. Either you validate it by complaining or by just surrendering to it. Any of this, you are giving a go to the thoughts to have a place. When you have a feeling in your system that you are not comfortable with, you understand one thing, that something that is contrary to your stated goal, to your stable datum, is about being activated. Now, I want you to know this thing. A majority of the thoughts that are in your system are not yours. They are not yours and they are not meant to be yours. They are floating past. Okay? It is just like the normal space. You have a house on the plot of land and things are bound to fly past. Pollens from plants, different pollens from plants can fly past. Dust can fly past. That is how the human system also is. People are thinking, people are emoting, and all of those things are flying all over the place. So many thoughts are flying in space. It is to whom it may concern. That's the label on all of them. And also, there are people who are having thoughts about you. Wherever they may be, they are thinking about you. And their thought could be about anything, from good to neutral to bad. There are those who are having desires. They are placing some desires upon you. There are those who are placing some demands upon you from the perspective of retribution. A lot of things are happening. And your goal in life is to maintain a higher ground. Of course, there are two types of thoughts, which also means there are two types of feelings. There is the positive thoughts, which is in connection, in relation to your life's goal, your set life's goal. And then there are feelings also like that, because the thoughts will generate a congruent feeling. So a good thought generates good feeling. A bad thought generates a bad feeling. That is how it goes. So people you have said something to, or you have done something to, or you have not said anything to, you have not done anything to, would have a thought towards you. And if you are not present in the moment, you will be a victim of their actions, of their thoughts. You get it? So when a feeling is happening to you and you are not conscious of it, you are so much in haste to do certain things. Some of you are so deep in your fantasy, in your addictions, that you don't have the time to even address a feeling. You just know that the feeling is there, let it just be there, If it can be there without you assimilating it or accepting it, it's okay. With time, it will wear off because it will not have the energy. Because every thought is an energy packet sent out by another human being floating in space, and it gets into your space. It occupies there for a while. If you visit that thought with an energy, it stays and it becomes native to you. It is by embracing thoughts, true feelings, that we create our realities, that we create the kind of person we become. So a bad thought will create a bad feeling, which when embraced will generate a bad emotion. And with bad emotion, a bad reality is being created instantly. So the message is stay aware. If you are positive, stick to your positivity. Think positively, read positively, listen to positive content, and just stay in your place. Do not stray out to the path of negativity in the name of trying to correct people, I don't know, for one reason or the other, we just find ourselves straying out and then they get us. When a feeling is floating through your system, you sense it. You know that a thought is present. And if the feeling is not congruent with your emotions, with your state of being, with your consciousness, you reject it. A simple statement like cancel, that is, you hold the feeling in space and you say, cancel. Is that simple? Not that I don't want you to tell the feeling, I cancel you, I reject you, you are giving it emotions, it will stay. But when you just hold the feeling, don't let it sink into your being. If you consciously listen to your system, you will find out that feelings actually float around. Some of them come like projectiles. See, somebody has said that thoughts are electrical charges in the brain, while feelings are magnetic charges in the body. By feelings, we magnetize things. When you embrace a feeling, you send out magnetism, you send out energy. When we embrace a feeling, we are actually embracing the thought that it represents. All right. If the thought is a thought of curse, if it is the thought of a blessing, okay, you are actually sending out a magnetism, your own life force, to go and pull things that connect with that thoughts which the feeling represents into your life. And those thoughts could represent, that could be human beings, it could be events, it could be situations and circumstances. But what you are doing is exactly that. This is how we create our realities. This is why when a feeling is not good, when a feeling represents lower passions, when they represent the baser passions of your being, the best thing for you to do is ignore them or cancel them on the instant. You are not supposed to be a junkyard of thoughts. There are people who are junkyards of thought. Any feelings that make them happy, they embrace it. Any feeling that makes them sad, they surrender to it because they don't have the power to control it. Don't embrace any feeling, whether it is good or bad. Because when you embrace it, you are telling your mind that when something makes you feel good, it should accept it. And there are some thoughts that come by way of feelings that are negative, but they come as something sweet. You know what I'm talking about. If you embrace such, you are going to create the realities that they represent in your life. You know, sometimes you just realize that you're not feeling good, or realize that you are feeling very happy and you don't know what is the source of that happiness. You are just happy. Now you have a right to be happy. But when that happiness is coming from a promise, from an event that's about to happen, then you understand that an opium is present in your system, because those events are going to pass. That promise is either going to be fulfilled or not going to be fulfilled. Therefore, if you embrace such a feeling, you are defining your life on the basis of that embrace, on the basis of that feeling and that thought. Now, it simply means you are going to be attached to that event, to that thing, to that person. Some people are happy because they just got a new girlfriend, or that a girlfriend is coming to visit them, or a boyfriend is coming to take them out. I have a video on this issue on how to handle your thoughts, why you shouldn't embrace thoughts. Any thought that gives you a feeling of happiness or of any mood at all, that is connected, one, to an event, to a promise, to a property, to a material thing around you, don't embrace them. Just let them be there. Let the event come, enjoy the event, but don't be attached to the feeling, because if you do, they will waste, they will wear out, they are expendable. When they are expended and they disappear, you just find out that one day you are not happy anymore. You wonder why you are not happy, because you were attached to something that fizzles. And when that thing fizzled, you had nothing to hold on to. So there's that hole in the middle of your heart and you cannot find peace anymore. The idea of allowing what is going to happen, what is going to be given to you, to define your person is a grave error. Embrace no such thing. There is a feeling of joy that, you know, it is not attached to anything. It is just attached to you being you. You're being alive, your aliveness feeling. That you can embrace, because that is your power. That is your person. You're not supposed to be happy as a result of anything tangible, anything material, because it is your nature. But when we start embracing material things, that is joy that are coming from, that are stemming from material things, we lose that joy. But in order to connect with that joy, we have to dissociate from fake joys, from fleeting joys that will not stay. All right. Now, what more can a brother say to a beloved one but to say that your powers are immense, they are eroded when you define yourself on the basis of material things, on the basis of things that are transient, on the basis of things that do not stay eternally. You are a bundle of eternity. Don't define yourself by that which changes, that which passes away. You are constant. You are the only constancy in this plane of existence. So don't compress yourself. Stay fixed and watch out for thoughts. Handle them. There's a video on how to handle those thoughts and feelings. Said I promise I will paste them up here. You'll see them. Bless you. And as long as you remain faithful to your individuality, to your personality, success is bound to be yours. Fulfillment is just with you. Thank you for watching my video, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you have not subscribed, What are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel. Share this video to your loved ones. This is the season of giving. So give the gift of knowledge. Things that can help a fellow brother and sister to develop. Help our world. Let us become conscious entities banding together in space and time. God bless you.